Okay, so I'm finally making a video about the books I read this year, and one of them is this book from Sallinger, and it's called The Catcher in the Rye. I've read this book before when I was like 17 years old, and uh, I couldn't remember anything like from back then, so I just read it again. And so far, it's my favorite book, I guess. So I'm just gonna read the description I found here on the Goodreads page. It has over like almost a 3 million ratings and 63,000 reviews. Actually, it's not a highly reviewed book. It has 3.81 rating. I guess it's almost like 4 stars. I also gave 4 stars. So here it goes, the book description. Um, the hero narrator of The Catcher in the Rye is an ancient child of 16, a native New Yorker named Holden Caulfield. Through circumstances that tend to preclude adult secondary description, he leaves his prep school in Pennsylvania and goes underground in New York City for 3 days. The boy himself is at once too simple and too complex for us to make any final comment about him or his story. Perhaps the safest thing we can say about Holden is that he was born in the world not just strongly attracted to beauty, but almost hopelessly impaled on it. There are many voices in his novel, children's voices, adult voices, underground voices, but Holden's voice is the most eloquent of all. Transcending his own vernacular, yet remaining marvelously faithful to it, he issues a perfectly articulated cry of mixed pain and pleasure. However, like most lovers and clowns and poets of the higher orders, he keeps most of the pain to and for himself. The pleasures he gives away or sets aside with all his heart. It is therefore the reader who can handle it to keep. J.D. Salinger's classic novel of teenage angst and rebellion was first published in 1951. The novel was included on Times' 2005 list of the 100 best English language novels written since 1923. It was named by Modern Library and its readers as one of the 100 best English novels of the 20th century. It has been frequently challenged in the court for its liberal use of profanity and portrayal of sexuality, and in the 1950s and 60s it was the novel that every teenage boy wants to read. Okay, so this is a pretty popular book. Everybody was reading it. I had friends who read it, and yeah, I still didn't leave any review on it. So my opinion is that the book was kind of repetitive in what it takes. The the language was repetitive, the things are repetitive, and yeah, the novelist has this expression. It killed me. It killed her. Um, I think that's been like there for a purpose, so I can accept that. But it gets annoying after some time. I don't know. Like back in the day, it might have been something new, but for me, it was very repetitive to always read. It killed me. It killed her. In the figurative sense, as they meant the writer meant J.D. Salinger. I haven't read any other books from J.D. Salinger. This is the first book I read from him, and I read it first when I was 17 years old. And back then, I don't think I understood the point of it. But now I kind of see how it all comes together. Um, for example, I think it's a story about a kid in the 50s growing up and leaving the school behind. And it was kind of funny, like, it gave me hope in a way. Like, Holden is like 17 years old, and he he tries to mature in his own way. The story starts off by him um going to the school and getting like expelled from the school, high school from Pennsylvania, and after that he just the the narrator, I mean the writer, just goes on by um, telling how he like it's written in the first person. Holden is the one who's saying everything about himself and how he feels about the teachers. He goes to his history teacher to say goodbye, and like he's so judgmental of everything that happens around him. And then he goes to shows and sells like his typewriter, and goes to shows and tries to pick up girls. But first, I think it goes like he goes and finds a hooker. Like he goes to this hotel, and the guy, he goes to the hotel, and the receptioner guy tells him if he would like to get a hooker, and he gets a hooker, and um, he feels sorry for her, and that makes him like not to want to have any relationship with her. I mean, like not sleep with her, and yeah, the two of them talk, and then he decides not to sleep with her, and but still has to pay, and he had to pay $5, but the hooker asks for 10, and he doesn't want to give that money because the thing was that they like trick him. And then the guy that sent the hooker comes together with her, and they take his money by force, $10, and yeah, like it did creep me out. Literally didn't remember that part where they take his money, and it was fun to read again. And then what else? Like he calls up all his girlfriends from high school. I think he never had a girlfriend. He just dates like that, and he talks about um how he tried to initiate any sexual contact and stuff like that, but he failed. Like he didn't want to force himself on the girls. And then he goes home for Christmas in secret, like to not catch the attention of his parents. And he has a sister and a younger sister, a younger brother that died. His brother died, and yeah, it's like a normal guy story. Like I think it's mostly for guys, but yeah, like so many things. Like it ends by him saying that if I remember correctly, he he goes to school again, and yeah, I was expecting more. For example, yeah, like I think I read it in like 2 days, and yeah, like it's like a chaotic novel, so I can say about that. Um, my favorite part was I think the one with the hooker. Like how he describes, like he talks with her and she says, the hooker says that, yeah, she goes to shows, she goes to shopping, and that's basically all she does. And yeah, like it was interesting to read about that, how the story goes. Yeah, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars because I generally enjoyed the story, but like what I didn't enjoy was the repetitiveness of the expressions, like "it killed me" or uh, "good old whatever so and so, good old." I don't know how his sister was named, and then like yeah, and how he kept failing classes. It was interesting read. But yeah, that's all I could say about it. And yeah, and yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening, and I hope we can leave a feedback. Yeah, thanks.